Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be my top 5 worst maps. Number one has got to be Kajimi, because you can't even land on that map. The only option that you can do on Kajimi is to play the level, the C-3PO oh no. But honestly, this map sucks. It's not even a map. This planet sucks. It's probably because it got blown up in the Rise of Skywalker, but I do kind of wish that you get to explore Kajimi. Again, the only closest option that you can do with Kajimi is go right to the planet. Even in space, you know, like flying around Kajimi in space, there's no asteroids, there's no Kyber comets. There's nothing out here other than the option to play the level. So honestly, Kajimi is by far the worst planet in the Skywalker Saga game, honestly. So next up is Dagobah. I was debating whether this was actually a really good planet or really not. It is in the top 5 worst, but again, no preference. The map is pretty cool. Woods, you know, you get to roam Dagobah for a bit. Honestly, this is actually one of the smaller maps of the Skywalker Saga. And to be honest, I just don't see myself coming here as often that I do like with the Federal District and Uskuru District and, you know, Mos Eisley. This is probably like on the last of my list, you know. Grievous, what are you shooting at? So Canto Bight is actually on my 3rd worst planet. Honestly, it was a new planet that they did with the sequel trilogy, and they were only here for like one objective, and now for some odd reason it's a planet that you can play in the Skywalker Saga game, which honestly, yeah, okay, but this planet is kind of cool. It is massive, but no one asked for this planet. No one asked to roam Kajimi. Not Kajimi. Well, no one asked to roam Canto Bight or Cantonica, what do you call it? Whatever you call it. Kajimi is by far the worst. I think everyone can agree Kajimi is by far the worst planet, but Canto Bight is, you know, iffy. Actually, to be honest, I mean, yeah, it's cool. The amount of detail that they put into this is impressive. I gotta give them credit. It is pretty cool. It is, you know, there's stuff going on. It's not, you know, not as crazy as Mos Eisley or, you know, Uskuru District, but they could have done something some other planet other than Canto Bight, you know. So Kef Bir is kind of an oddball. I don't hate this planet, but I don't see this as one of my favorite planets, although it does have the second Death Star, which you do get to roam. Honestly, the map itself is actually pretty large if you combine the island here and the second Death Star, but overall, again, I don't see myself coming back here as often like I do with, you know, the Federal District, the Uskuru District, Mos Eisley, Mos Espa, you know, all that. It is a cool map. It is fun to explore. I think it's tied with Octu. This Kef Bir I believe is tied with Octu, so that just shows you the comparison. You know, I go back to Octu on occasion, so, you know, I go back to here on occasion, but it's not like, you know, when I play Skywalker Saga, where do I want to go to first? I usually want to go to the Federal District or Uskuru District first, and then, you know, bounce around from there. So this is all right. Unlike the other maps, when you would hop onto that taxi thing on here, which is more like a boat, you actually get to ride the waves. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, you get to, you know, ride around. You can change direction on this, which is kind of cool. It lasts like only like 30 seconds, 20-30 seconds most, which is kind of cool. You don't get to do this with the other taxis, you know, driving around, but you really have no control of the gas pedal. The only option you have is you have control over the steering, the stick here, but it's only to like a minimum, only to like, you know, you can only turn so far. Yeah, you only have like so much room to move the joystick, because you can't turn around, you can't gas, you can't brake, so that's the only downside.
That's Arch and wreckage. Presume you're here to salvage. How much else do they want?
Alright, so the 5th one here we have is Echo Base. Honestly, I think I can see a lot of people disagree with me as this is the worst hated planet, because honestly, this planet is pretty cool. But like Crate, I mean, I mean, Crate, there is a glitch that you can explore the outside. I was hoping when we were getting the, you know, Echo Base on Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, you know, you thought you could, like, roam pretty much the base, go outside, roam around outside. But honestly, unless there's a glitch that I don't know of, you can't go out the door. You can't go out the door. And I tried figuring out a method here, just like with a Crate, where you can, like, you know, glitch through the wall or something, but I think there is a method. I think there is a way to get outside, but you need a second controller. You need a second person to play. And I'm playing on the Steam Deck, so that's not gonna, yeah. So yeah, I made this one nice and short. There wasn't really too much, you know, to discuss. I think this was the 5th one. Let me check. So we did Kijimi, we did Dagobah. Where's Dagobah? Where is Dagobah? Right there, Dagobah. Then we did Cantonica. We did Kef Bir, and then Hoth. These planets, you know, I guess the first one being Kijimi, that's by far the worst planet. Dagobah is, actually I think Cantonica is second place as being the worst. Then Dagobah, then Kef Bir, and then I guess Hoth would be, you know, better than Kijimi, but still it's not like, you know, when I play Skywalker Saga, either I go to Tatooine or I go to Coruscant first, and then I hop around. Or Mustafar. Mustafar, I can see, is also an option, you know. Stay tuned for the most forgettable planets in Skywalker Saga that people don't really, you know, go to as often. So, see you later.